tried to get out, and the time was now.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another exciting episode of Sitting Down with Standups. I am your co-host, the great Justin Sakarica, sporting the great mustache. We have the bean behind the scene, aka White Daryl, doing all the tech stuff. And then over to my left, with no mustache, is the very lovely Elena Gonzalez. Elena, how are you doing?
Thanks, Nair. I'm good. How are you?
I am feeling pretty freaking lucky right now.
Lucky that you've got that great mustache.
Well, that's one thing, yes. Lucky that I can actually grow some kind of facial hair.
I do love that you've adopted the whole like Justin the Great. Like I like that persona
yes,
for you.
It's part of me now. So
yep.
yes, yes. Oh, but no, I'm feeling pretty lucky because luck has smiled upon me.
Oh,
yes.
More bananas on the doorstep.
So actually, we could talk about that. Oh, I didn't tell you about Johnny B.
Oh.
No, there's going to be a little bit of a delay in the bananas.
Oh, no.
Yeah, he gave...
Supply and demand? Or...
Well, no, he gave me a freaking heart attack the other day. So I was driving home from work, and I saw him out on the front porch, and I kid you not, he had a banana in his hand.
Of course he did.
He waved me down, and my first thought is, okay, he's going to offer me this banana. So I drive up, and I roll the window down. I'm like, hey, what's going on, Johnny? Now, put yourself in my shoes in this situation, okay?
Okay.
He comes to me and he
Getting
goes,
into character.
hey, young man, he said, look, I want to let you know right now, it's going to be a little bit of time before I get you more bananas. And I was like, oh, okay. He goes, yeah, my wife fell and cracked her brain. She's in the living room right now. And I'm like, oh, my God, like, I will call 911. Like, let me get the ambulance here. He's like, oh, no, she good. She's laying down now. I'm like, okay, you gave me a heart attack. Like, the way you waved me down with your emergency, emergency banana, and then, like, the way you say that, I'm like, dude, like, you should have worded that so much differently. Like,
wow. My wife fell and cracked her brain. She's in the living room now.
Yeah, that exactly to me says, hey, this just happened 5 minutes ago, and this is not a telephone, it's a banana.
Right.
What do I do?
I don't have service. Can you please
exactly.
help?
So he said it might be a little bit until I get more bananas. But you know what? I've gotten plenty of free bananas this year, so I think I'm gonna be good. But Johnny, I hope your wife all the best to your wife with the cracked brain. You know, it's Daryl was kind of shocked when I told him that Johnny was married.
Yeah, very shocked. Actually.
Yeah.
Why? I mean, a man that is swimming in bananas would also be swimming. Yeah.
That's what women want. They want bananas. Yeah, they want bananas. That's why I can't fucking find anybody normal. They want bananas.
Yeah, Johnny's just trying to help you out. He's like, here you go, man.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Hint, hint. Bananas, buddy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
women. That's the thing. You don't know. Women are notoriously low in potassium. So that's why we need a man with bananas.
I don't know why that was so goddamn funny to me.
It's funny because it's true. Check your levels, ladies.
Yes.
Okay, so it's not free bananas.
No,
so
it was free lawn care.
What?
So I was in Knoxville again for work, and my neighbor texted me, and she was like, hey, when did you get True Green? Because she watches my house like a hawk. Everything that happens here, like, she knows about long before I do.
Okay.
And I was like, I don't have True Green. Why do you say that? And she's like, well, they're treating your lawn right now. And I was like, okay, do me a favor and don't stop them.
Exactly.
Don't stop them. Just let them do their thing.
Right.
So then, like, an hour later, I called True Green because whoever got screwed, I want to make sure, you know.
Yes.
So I called True Green. I'm like, hey, listen, I just got a text from my neighbor. I'm out of town. Here's my address. I do not have a service with you guys. And the lady over the phone was, I can hear like, oh, God damn it. Oh, okay.
They just like transpose numbers or something?
They basically figured out that it was my neighbor's house who should have been taken care of and not mine.
Oh, gotcha.
But that's not the only thing that's happened as far as my lawn goes. Like, probably 7 or 8 years ago, I came home from lunch on my break, and I went into the backyard to have lunch because, you know, it was a nice day, and my tree stump was missing.
What?
So it's happened before where somebody mistakes my house for another one.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so I've gotten free stump removal, free lawn care. So
see, we I think we've mentioned this before, but Justin and I live fairly close to each other.
Mm-hmm.
But I should have picked this neighborhood when I got divorced because I pay a lot of money regularly because that's the biggest thing I miss in my divorce is somebody to take care of my lawn. And you are over here getting free stuff.
Yes, exactly.
Oh.
And I'm hoping that one day somebody in the neighborhood decides to get like an addition put on their house or a deck, and then I come home and I'm like, sweet.
Uh-huh.
But like, I don't know, it's crazy because people, again, like, they always seem to like mistake my house for other ones. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I've talked about it before, but many, many years ago, I got really drunk on my birthday. Mm-hmm. And it was the first year that I lived in my house, and my buddy literally like drove up to the house 2 doors down that has an upstairs, and he's like, hey man, we're home. And I'm like, that's not my house.
Right.
He's like, oh no, you're drunk. I'm like, I'm drunk, but I know that my house doesn't have a fucking upstairs.
Right.
And he's arguing with me. I'm like, you know what, I'm getting out of the car. And I walked home. He's like, Jay, no. And he's yelling. I'm like, dude, like, this is where I live. I have a key. I get in the house and he's like, oh. Like, bro, so yeah, my house for some reason just seems to get mistaken for others all the time.
Oh, that's a hell of a problem. That is
Yes.
a hell of a problem.
Yeah, so I mean, it's it's one thing that I tend to enjoy quite a bit. So
Well, if any of our listeners or viewers feel the need to want to clean gutters, I will give you my address or just basic branch removal.
There you go. Yeah,
that's a good one. I'm open for free lawn services, is what I'm saying.
Awesome. Well, again, you probably should have moved over to my because
really
make no bones about it. Mm-hmm. I get a lot of free stuff, and
I see where this is going.
You see where it's going?
And I don't know if our if our special guest sees where this is going, but this is
the transition that I always do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so make no bones about it. We have a fantastic guest in-house today. This guy is a hilarious comedian. He's been on several of my shows before. He actually has his own podcast that he just started. And he has quite possibly the coolest Instagram name out there. Bone Snake 3. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the very funny Mike Cronin. Mike, come on in here. See, you know it's a good sign when he didn't leave immediately when I gave that horrible transition. Yes. Because I was thinking about that for a long time. Like, how am I going to find a way to introduce him?
As soon as you got that smirk on your face with make no bones about it.
Exactly.
No, he's way too proud. I'm so excited, and I don't know if I even mentioned this to you, Justin, but my paths have crossed with Mike a handful of times.
Yeah.
We did not meet in person, face to face, until your show on my birthday this past November.
At Bearded Lamb.
Mm-hmm.
Really? Wow.
And we saw each other for moments. I handed him a package that we'll probably talk about in a bit, and then that was it. And so this is the first time. Hi. This is the first time that we're having a real conversation, and it's being recorded for all the world to see.
I'm not devious. I bring people together. I bring them together. Yes. The mustache is like the olive branch.
Yes.
Yes.
You are the bridge.
I am the bridge. Yeah.
Literally.
So, yeah, man.
Yeah. Thank you so much for the potty. Toilet?
Chair,
potty
the
chair?
The potty toilet,
wow,
yes.
I spaced on what that was.
So as you can tell, Mike is a great father.
With a washlet and everything. I mean, we are clean. Yeah.
I'm fascinated by your plumbing knowledge. The washlet and everything.
A washlet? I don't even know what a washlet is. Is that like a parent thing? Like
no, it's a bidet.
A bidet. Okay. An ass geyser, basically.
Yeah.
That's what we call them here.
Do you have a bidet here?
No, I do not.
I gotta get a bidet.
You know what? I've heard that before.
Yeah.
I have used one before, and it was an experience. I was like, this is what the rich people are living like. Yeah, my buddy.
They're like $60.
That's it, really?
Yeah.
So I've got a crazy story about bidets. One that's normal and one that's kind of gross. So. My buddy used to work for Max Fisher, like the Max Fisher.
Okay.
And that was the first time that he ever tried a bidet. And The one day he
At
called
his
me.
house or at his office? Or?
Oh no, like at the mansion. Because
Okay,
Matt Fisher
okay,
had a huge
okay,
mansion, and my
okay.
buddy one day called. He's like, "Hey man, guess what I just did?" And I'm like, "What do you do?" He's like, "I used the bidet." I'm like, "Oh, why you calling me and telling me this?" And he's like, "Dude, actually, like it was great." I'm like, "Okay, whatever." Well, I was working at a job that time where people kept finding these water bottles taped underneath the sink because like some of these truck drivers were like using them as bidets.
Oh god.
And there was a guy there that would go around and collect empty bottles, and the one day he may or may not have pissed me off. And I'm like, "Hey man, if you want some empty bottles, I found some in the bathroom. Why don't you go grab them?" And then afterwards, I was like, "You know that those are truck driver bidets, right? Son of a bitch."
I kind of love the resourcefulness, though.
Yeah, it's
Like,
very, it's very ingenious, but yeah.
It'll do the trick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And those only cost like $2.39 with deposit.
Yeah.
So, wow. Yeah. See.
Yeah, I
getting
got
a
Lindsay
sparkling water.
a bidet for Christmas a couple years ago, and it came with a whole package. And I got it because it came with a T-shirt that says "Ask me about my butthole."
That's true love.
Yeah.
Did she ask for the bidet, or did you give it to her?
No, I gave it to her. She was surprised.
Wow, you are quite the gentleman.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, so I've learned two things. One, I've got to get more bananas for the ladies, and I have to start giving bidets as gifts.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no more chocolate or roses. Here's a bidet.
We
Okay.
also, and she was so smart to do this, we recorded the first time that she used it on her phone because I would have shared it instantly.
As you should have.
So fun. She was like,
Yeah.
"Woo!"
Okay, now for those who don't know, who is Lindsay?
Lindsay Rendell is my fiance.
Fiance.
Fiancé.
Fiancé.
Yeah, fiance.
And baby mama.
Baby mama.
So where in the timeline was the bidet use? And as a person who has also made a tiny human, there are differences that happen pre-birth, during cooking, and post-birth. So where?
It was a pre-birth present,
Okay.
Christmas present.
All
so
right.
deep in the pregnancy. Yeah. it
Okay.
was-
Because that's a whole different. It's like, I mean, there are so many hack jokes about it, but it's a whole different world.
That's great.
It changes everything about. It literally moves your organs around. Like it's
Yeah, that.
you got
Thank
some
God I am
adjustments.
not able to have children because that just sounds. That sounds just awful to me. It just sounds awful to me. Yeah,
It's kooky.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's kooky enough that you guys are doing it again.
Yeah.
Nice,
Yeah.
congrats.
Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah. So I gotta ask you. You're Bone Snake 3. Is your first child Bone Snake 4, and then do you plan on having Bone Snake 5?
Well, I don't know. My dad is Bone Snake too. That's where the.
Yeah, and I'm
And,
assuming Grandpa's Bone Snake.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think my son has to earn the moniker Bone Snake. So we got to see which one wants it more.
I love this gauntlet.
Yeah.
Like is what I'm picturing.
Yeah.
Like is it pugil, like the jousting sticks, whatever those are called, and I see lots of fire.
A lot of
Yeah.
fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a trial by fire.
Like Thunderdome, you know?
Yeah. It's like American Gladiators.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I'm on top of a pyramid with a gun.
Yeah.
A gun that shoots tennis balls.
That would be such an amazing thing to see. Like, hey guys, Dad of the Year here. I got two kids. They're fighting for the moniker of Bone Snake.
Yeah.
yeah.
Can we timestamp this right now with toddler American Gladiators? And that's
That's
the
it.
$1 billion idea.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
And there's nothing more American than that. Like, you got to earn that nickname, son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, my brother, who doesn't have kids, got my son for his first birthday a bouncy castle, and I was like, he can barely walk. Like what?
like full size.
Yeah, and every time I talk to him, he's like, does he use that all the time? And I was like, he's never used it. Are you out of your mind?
It's going to be amazing for his 8th birthday.
Yeah. And by that time, the bouncy house world will probably evolve so much. It'll
Yeah.
be like a obsolete model.
Right. Yeah.
Which, you know, it might not be a bad idea to start on his college fund and just start renting that out.
That's a good
great.
idea. Yeah.
Run a little bounce house rental.
You can make that part of the American Gladiators course. Like
It's going to be. Yeah.
Yeah. That would be great. Like he's bouncing and you're shooting him with the tennis balls, and you know, because it's very hard to dodge midair. You know, you can't quite. You know.
Yeah. My dad did that quite a few times with gifts for my son, where I think he was 3. It was Christmas when he was 3, and he got him this dinosaur that roars, but bringing it back to Gladiators, it has a little foam balls gun that you shoot into the dinosaur's mouth. So like it roars, and then you shoot it in there, and you try to get it at the back of the throat. And I'm like, he's 3, and working on target practice is not really what we need to be focusing on right now, Dad.
Yeah.
And all of the, you know, tiny drum sets. And just this past year, he got him this spinning, I honestly don't know what you would call it, because it's not fully a bike, it's not a tricycle, it's just 2 wheels. It's a radio flyer thing, and you can pedal with your arms and spin around with it, but you have to have, like, biceps, basically, to do this. So my dad's like, so does he love it? I'm like, there's snow, first of all, but secondly, he can't get past here. So
what your dad's doing is he's getting your son ready for when he has to earn his nickname. He's starting early. He's building the muscle, so when it comes time, he's going to realize I've got that.
Smart
Yeah,
move, Dad.
I'll never forget when I was younger, I asked for a drum set for Christmas and also a knife and a bullwhip.
Yeah.
And my dad got me the knife and the bullwhip because drums were too loud.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because apparently that's the problem, but murder's okay.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, he wanted his son to be Indiana Jones. That was great.
Yeah, I think it was more
Not
of
a
a
goddamn
castle.
drummer though.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
The last thing
My son will not be a drummer, but he will be Simon Belmont from Castlevania. Oh man, but yeah, no man, that is great that you've got some more family on the way. And you were mentioning earlier that with that happening, you're not going to stop doing comedy, but you want to do some more local shows around here. How do you feel about the local scene right now in Michigan?
It's great. It's a lot of fun. I just did the Independent, the shit show the other night, and that's a lot of fun. The heckle mics are something I've never done outside of the city, and they can be pretty brutal.
Meaning that you've never done them in another city, or
They don't really exist in other cities outside of shit show is a lot like a show called Power Hour that's in Chicago and New York, where there's one drinker on stage and a guy playing the piano.
And Ken actually did that in Chicago.
Yeah.
We were talking to him about that a couple weeks ago.
But outside of that, it's not really a thing anywhere else but here.
Oh, maybe we should change that. Yeah, maybe we should change
sure.
Yeah. Do you? So I can see kind of pro and con side of it. Where do you fall? Does that excite you and kind of light up your bells and whistles in a good way, or does it stress you out? Where do you fall on that?
It's fun to be the heckler on stage. I would never heckle off stage, and to be the person who's getting constantly interrupted doing a new bit is infuriating. So,
all right.
Yeah.
But when I do it, I try to give them tags as opposed to like just ripping on them or saying like that's not funny, do something else. Like
right.
Yeah,
right.
you're trying
to
to help
be more
them.
constructive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, have you had a lot of experience with actual hecklers around the Michigan comedy scene?
Like the comics themselves heckling?
Not really the comics, but the audience in general.
Not really. But with the way comedy is now, where everybody is posting clips of, like crowd interactions, like all across the country now, people feel the need to cause a scene during a show and make a moment, and that is not what I do. That's not what like 99% of comics do.
Yeah.
So it's just like, shut up.
Yeah.
Let us do the show.
You know, and I think I've been very fortunate because on a lot of the shows I've been on or I've ran, it's extremely rare. I really don't see it too much, which, you know, that's a good thing. And I always make an announcement before my shows, like, hey, you know, please don't heckle. Let the comedians do their thing, because you know it's you know, like you said, like it's not cool to interrupt somebody when they're trying to make a joke, and you know.
Yeah, but how long have you been doing comedy?
April 5th will be 17 years.
Okay. Do you does it feel palpably more now than it has in the past, or has that always kind of been a thing in your experience with the interruptions?
No, it's a lot more now.
Yeah.
I think COVID had a huge thing to do with it, because once we took that long break and everyone came back, you had to like retrain crowds how to act in public, because people hadn't been in public in a year and a half, and
Right.
Yeah.
and they just show up and they're just talking to each other loudly during the show, not even heckling, just like having a conversation at their table, and you have to be like, hi, we're in public, you can
Yeah.
you're
Right.
ruining
Because
the show for
and
everyone
and
around
they're
you.
also like, oh, I haven't seen you in forever, and No,
Yeah, that's such a weird thing with comedy. Like, you wouldn't go to a movie theater and have a full conversation with people around you.
Yeah.
But at a comedy club in a dark room, this exact same situation, people are like, yeah, how was your day?
Yeah.
At work? Yeah.
And it's crazy because they think they're helping.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we're helping the show. Like, no, you're fucking not helping. You know?
Yeah.
It's like if somebody is on the street that just got hit by a car and the EMTs are working on them and somebody comes over like, yeah, so anyway, I saw Martha the other day. It's like, shut up, I'm trying to save somebody. Like, let people do their jobs.
Yeah.
You know? But I think from what I've heard at least, because again, I haven't seen it happen a whole lot, but it seems to be more of a club thing than like a brewery or like a bar show, surprisingly. And
I
again,
mean, I've seen it at theater shows.
really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Jesus.
I did it like a week with Drew Lynch, and there was hecklers at every show that we had to shut down. Be like, hey, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, like, you paid $40 for this ticket. We will kick you out. Like,
Now, like, when that does happen, would you prefer to have a little bit of time to roast them before they get kicked
No.
off, or just get the fuck out of here?
no, I was a door guy for like 7 years, so that, like, I'm like, get him the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Is Drew the word that's coming to my brain is welcoming, and that's not what I mean, but is he more of that style where people would think that, or was this
No, I mean,
Okay.
he's a very, very great joke teller. And,
Okay.
And he has done a lot of those clips and videos, but he will shut them down pretty quickly.
okay? Because I do know that is
In a fun way.
okay.
Yeah.
That in addition to kind of the crowd work now, you look back at like, you know, Steve Hofstetter, for instance, who was trying to kind of cultivate that as his persona and then challenging. So, you know, kind of putting it out into the world like, I will shut down anyone. So then people come to a show with that expectation, like, this is where it's at. So that's why I wanted to see if Drew was more on that side or not.
Yeah.
That's so weird at a theater show.
I know.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like, you want to go out and like have like a nice night out. I was lucky because I did 3 theater shows, and luckily nobody was like heckling. We've talked about it before, though. We just had that one lady that had that very loud chimpanzee like laugh.
Oh, yeah.
Which, I mean, that's
tough.
Yeah, because you start laughing at her.
Yeah.
And she was so easy to make laugh, and like literally everything you said to her, she would just screech. Like, literally, it sounded like there was a chimpanzee
Yeah.
in the audience, and like it just got to a point where you're like, okay, anything I say, she's gonna go off, and it's gonna make me like really try to hold it together.
Right.
But,
And you want to make fun of her like, you have to address it at some point.
yeah, yeah.
So you want to make fun of her, but also then that makes her more self-conscious to not laugh.
Oh no! See, some
Yeah.
people at that show, Keith Leonard actually made a comment. He's like, I think she's sitting on her finger, and then she went even louder. She's like, oh my god, like, you know, it got even worse. But yeah, it's crazy laughs though. Like, that always gets me laughing like even harder. You know, like, 'cause like laughter really is contagious, and when that happens, I'm like, oh shit, I'm done for now. I'm done for.
Yeah.
So you mentioned you've been doing this 17 years, and Lindsay, I promise I'm not hitting on him, but you don't seem old enough to have that be the case. How old were you when you started?
I was 19.
Wow. How did that actually? I mean, not to go that textbook and say, so how'd you get into comedy? But kind of.
Yeah. How'd you get into comedy, Mike?
At 19.
Yeah. I actually started writing jokes when I was 16.
Okay.
I had an English teacher who caught me humping a desk in the back of his class.
Wait.
Stool, even.
You got caught humping a desk.
Yeah.
Hack from day one, Mike Cronin.
And he goes, Cronin, see me after class. And I was like, oh, fuck, I'm going to get a detention. And when he goes after class, he goes, you should start writing your jokes. Like, you're a very funny kid. And, like, write them down. And I think he was just giving me an outlet to, like, work that out. And then he was also like, here's 5 movies you should watch over the summer, like comedies.
Do you remember what they were?
Wow. That's,
The one, well, we watched Monty Python in his class. I think that was on there.
Oh, that's a great teacher.
Yeah.
There.
And then Wet Hot American Summer was the big one.
Wow.
That I'd never seen before.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was he like I'm a cool teacher? Like, was he trying to be, or do you think it was just like a sensibility that he saw in you? And
No.
Okay.
No. I mean, he was a cool teacher, but he wasn't like, I'm trying to be the
Okay,
cool teacher.
that's good.
yeah,
He was just like, he was so good with kids, and like, I remember there was a moment where the projector screen was down, and he was just like trying to write something on the board behind it, so he was behind it, and then he would just like played peekaboo with us. Like 16-year-olds. He's like, oh.
He's probably trying to catch you humping the desk again.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I gotta ask, why were you humping the desk? I mean,
I was a stupid kid trying to make my friend laugh.
and did he laugh?
Yeah.
Good. I mean, I've seen some pretty attractive desks out there,
Yeah.
but I've never, I've
Well,
never
it was a
acted-
filing cabinet.
Oh,
so it was,
a filing cabinet.
I mean, all
Oh,
those
wow.
drawers.
Yeah.
Are you
Oh,
kidding me?
jeez.
They're stacked.
How many
Way to
drawers-
go.
A lot of places to put it.
Yeah. How many drawers were there?
2.
Oh man. Wow.
So then, how do you at 19 kind of put that together and
Oh,
say,
so-
here's where I need to go and do something?
So in college, I took a TV and film comedy class.
Okay.
And the final, you could either write a paper or do stand-up. And I chose to do stand-up, and
Where'd
I showed up.
Where'd you go to school?
Ohio University.
Oh, wow.
And I showed up, like, we had writing sessions for like 2 months leading up to it, and I showed up, was like, here, I have a 20-page Word document where I've been writing these jokes, and none of them were usable.
Oh damn.
So I started over, and then I did that. So that actually, the first time I did it was, I was 18, and I did it in that class, and
Okay.
And it was terrible. Like the one laugh I got was on a riff.
Love this story, not only because it's fun to point and laugh at dumb kids, but but there are so many people that I haven't been doing this long at all, but as soon as I started, everyone I know kind of came out of the woodwork to tell me how funny they are and how they've always wanted to do this and how they've been writing for years and how they just gotta get up there and do it. And early on, I was like, but that's not the same.
Right.
And I've noticed as I've been doing it, like you could write for 20 years in your living room, have 10,000 jokes, but the second you put a microphone in your hand and you say one of them, it's entirely different than your brain perceives it to be. So that's really kind of great that was your first experience to be like, oh no, I don't know shit. This is...
You got a dose of reality early on, luckily. Yeah.
I was just talking to a guy last night after a show, and he said we did a show at a country club, and it was like an up and down crowd.
Okay.
You know, like a lot of our jokes were not for them, and so he goes, "Yeah, man, I don't know how you can get up there and tell jokes." And I was like, "Well," and he goes, "Yeah, especially during like all the silences." And I was like, "Okay." But also, I tried to explain to him, I was like, "Well, every joke I did tonight, I've done 100 times, and it's worked 99 of those times. It's like, you're the outlier, not me. Like, I didn't just do a joke and think like, oh, I guess that wasn't funny. I was like, no, you guys just sucked.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which that does happen sometimes. You can
Yeah.
have bad crowds. I mean, it's it's part of the game. But maybe in the future, just bring that filing cabinet, and if like shit's going sour,
a
just
great
start
idea. Yeah.
going to town. And
Well, I would never cheat on Lindsay like that.
so does she know that your first sexual experience was with the filing cabinet?
Well, I didn't bust.
Oh,
It's kind of presumptuous that you
Yeah,
would
I
assume
know.
that was his first
Yeah.
too. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
you got to work your way up to
exactly.
filing
Yeah.
cabinet.
You know, you start with a toaster, and
Start with a folder.
Yeah.
Then a trapper keeper.
a trapper keeper, a Lisa Frank style one.
Yeah.
Oh, all the
Yeah,
colors in
yeah.
there. Yeah. Wow.
So what was your transition then from, all right, I ate shit in school to now I'm going to do this for strangers?
Well, I dropped out of school like right after that because that was the only class that quarter that I passed.
Okay.
And then I don't know, I just went back, moved back in with my parents, got a real job, and then like a year later, I signed up for a comedy class.
Okay.
And
At a club or?
at a comedy
Okay.
club, yeah, at Go Bananas in Cincinnati.
All right.
And this was like, it was so weird because it was like, they didn't tell you how to do stand up at all. They told you how to be a comedian. So it was like always tip wait staffs. Don't be a dick
Oh, nice.
to anyone.
Uh-huh.
Like a lot of comics are nice to people who they think can help them, but what they
Yes.
don't realize is that everyone can help you.
Yes.
So so there was that, and then they left. When we left, they handed us like a printout of every booker in New York if we ever went to New York.
Wow.
Oh, that's...
So it was more like a comedy ethics class than anything.
was,
yeah,
actually, yeah,
Which,
yeah.
you know what, that's actually not a bad idea.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
it's-
they should do that in all the classes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Joel,
really
if you're
should.
watching, Bill, if you're watching, probably not, but you know. No, that actually is a pretty good idea. Yeah. So when would you say that you had your first successful set, and like at that point where you're like, okay, this is something that I actually want to pursue and keep doing?
Yeah, so the
About
first
6 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Perfect.
so the first at the Bearded Lamb.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Yeah. Great venue, by the
Yes.
way. Please come out. Yes.
Gorgeous.
Yes.
Great upstairs room. So the first the time I did stand up at the comedy club was like a really good set. I brought like 40 people
Yeah.
and it was really fun. And that was like when I knew.
Yeah, you.
And then I started doing it like once a month, and then a couple of the established comics like pulled me aside after a show, and they're like, "You're really funny. You need to take this more seriously." So then,
Nice.
so then I started going to open mics every week, and then just
It blossomed from there.
yeah,
Very nice. And again, it all started with you humping a filing
just humping
cabinet.
a filing cabinet.
I'm going to keep going back to that because that's probably the best like catalyst for getting into comedy I've ever heard.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, some people like, oh, I told a funny joke at my friend's, wedding, and this and that. No, I humped a desk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just have a feeling that next week when we come to record, there's going to be filing cabinets all over
Yes.
the basement.
Yes.
Full of bananas.
You
just
know,
ready.
I've got a pretty hot filing cabinet back there.
Oh,
Okay. Yeah, so if you want to, I've got some
He already
upstairs.
said he's not
It
going to
doesn't work
cheat
out
on
with
Lindsay.
Lindsay.
That's a good point. Yeah. Yeah. Don't worry, Lindsay. He did not get the filing cabinet of a day. He's not going to get her one.
So I won't try to push on any, statute of limitations or anything that you may have already gotten away with. But I'm imagining you're having this experience when you're 20, 21, 22. You've got some other comics who are like, no, you really need to start take this more seriously. And so you do, which means you're going to be doing a lot more open mics. You're going to be going to a lot of clubs, a lot of bars. You probably start traveling. Not to make assumptions, but you're a 22-year-old white man, not the best decision maker, I'm going to guess. There's probably some fun. Do you think that was good? It like in the way that it gave you a chance to kind of make those mistakes? Or do you look back at it now and go, "Oh, I wish I wouldn't have done that."
Are you talking about like sex?
Yes. Do you look back at all of your filing cabinets and your
All my filing
desks
cabinets.
and go, God, I wish I wouldn't have fucked all them? No, I'm sorry. I was going back to comedy and just like, I don't know, like drinking at the club or, you know, anything that may have happened in your 20s. And I'm not asking you to kind of relive that, but do you look back on it fondly and say, like, no, I'm glad that that was my coming up in comedy? Or do you look back on it and wish that you would have done it a different way?
Oh, no, I'm very fond. I love the way I came up in comedy. Like, I started Go Bananas in Cincinnati, and Cincinnati is such a great scene where everybody helps each other, and we were just like, it was the best. We had like Ryan Singer, Dave Waite, Jeff Tate, Tyrone Hawkins, kind of on the top level, and then
They all subscribe.
I'll subscribe.
Yeah, please,
Just so you
please.
guys.
Yeah.
We need subscribers.
Dave Waite was just on Jimmy Kimmel. He did a sketch last week, so that was pretty cool to see him. And then my class was like Alex Stone, Sam Evans, Mike Cody, Sally Brooks, and like now we're all over the country. We're all spread out.
It's so great that so many of the people that you're naming, like, not only am I at least semi-aware of, but that are still doing it.
Yeah.
I'm sure that there are probably, you know, dozens, if not more, of people that you did cross path with that don't do it anymore. But
Yeah, a lot. My co-host, Mike Cody, doesn't really do stand-up anymore, and he's one of the funniest guys I've ever met. And he has like one of my favorite albums ever. It's called I Don't Want to Take a Nap. Because he was dating a girl with kids, and he bought, for Christmas one year, he bought the little kid a T-Pain microphone that made everything.
Oh my gosh,
T-Pain.
that's fantastic.
So he was just singing stuff into it. He's like, I don't want to take a nap.
Is that available on Spotify? Like, where can I
Yeah,
find?
it's everywhere. Yeah.
I need to hear that song.
But that was so infuriating because he quit. He like full on quit, moved to New York. He's like a real estate guy now and killing it. But would come back once a year and do this festival in Cincinnati and have a better set than all of us. Like, with like flushed out material. We're like, what the fuck?
So
You
why?
know what
why
it
did
was?
he?
It was the T-Pain microphone.
It was the
That's,
T-Pain,
yeah. He's practicing with that.
I gotta ask why did he quit doing comedy?
He just fell out. Like, I never understood it until the last couple of years, but people just fall out of love with it, especially when you're just grinding it out in the Midwest and you don't get a lot of breaks. And,
Gotcha.
And you do a lot of awful road shows for a long time. It just wears on you.
Gotcha. And I know that there are a lot of, well, I hate saying who my favorite comedians are because every time I do, they end up quitting in the Michigan scene. Like, I loved Dan Curry, he quit. I loved Adam Herzl, he quit, although he still does improv. Loved Ben Max, he quit. Loved Joey Diderian, he quit. I'm going to stop saying who my favorites are because they all start quitting. It's like a curse, but, I mean, but yeah, I get that. You know, you just kind of fall out of love with it and, you know, and you move on. But,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's got to be infuriating to know that somebody who's retired can come back and be like, fuck you, I'm better than you still. You know?
Piece of shit.
Hi, Mike.
Yeah. Hi, Mike Cody.
Yeah. One of my favorite jokes that you have is the one where you talk about becoming a parent and having to, you know, unfortunately, give one of your cats up for adoption.
Yeah.
And the actual real angry reaction that people have to you doing that, like not realizing, I'm sorry, but like a newborn child is going to take precedent over a cat. And like, what are some of the most like angry reactions that people, because I mean, that is based on a true story, correct?
No, yeah.
Yeah.
It's all true. Like, everything I say in it is word for word from the post. And, yeah, I mean, a lady said that, you have to keep the cat for the sake of your son. It's like, you're gonna regret it years down the line when he's so close to that cat. And I was like, what toddler is close to a cat?
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, people were saying, like, how dare you get rid of this cat? When we posted it on a Facebook group specifically for people adopting senior cats. Like, that's what this whole thing, the lady got kicked out of the group Because they're like, what are you doing, you psychopath?
Yeah. I mean, I love animals, and I get it, but, like, a newborn child is, like, they're number one. You know, like, if you have to get rid of the cat, and you guys did the responsible thing, you're like, hey, you know, if anybody wants this cat, you are here to adopt these cats. If I heard it, like, no, keep the cat. Fuck the cat. It's like, crazy bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it worked out. We found, like, this young girl who had a big Saint Bernard puppy who was, like, 9 months, and it was this big, and that cat just owns that dog.
Nice. I want them to make a buddy cop movie.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Cat's just like riding on top of it, Ratatouille style.
Beethoven 4.
I love it. Absolutely love it.
Now, you still have some cats, correct?
Yep, we got 2 right now.
Yeah, and so I'm assuming that you're a cat guy, not a dog guy.
No, I'm a dog guy.
Oh, Jesus.
We got dogs too.
Oh, how many dogs do you have?
We have 2. We have a dog and a foster dog right now.
Ah, foster dog. So he's eventually going to.
Yeah,
move on
she'll move on at some point.
Okay, so what's gonna be next? So you've got 2 cats, you've got 2 dogs, you're really close to having 2 kids. What's gonna be next?
Less cats and dogs.
And
then a new puppy.
Then less kids. Like I don't like this trend.
I guess I never thought about that.
Ooh, sorry, kid who loses the gauntlet.
Yeah.
Well, my dog died last year.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
An asshole. Sorry.
Yeah. So thanks for bringing that up. And at the time we had 4 of our 5. When we had 4 of them are seniors. So.
Oh wow.
So the cat we have now is 19.
Jesus
our dog
Christ.
Is 16. The other cat was 9. My dog was 13, and then the other cat's like 3. But
so are these yours, Lindsay's, both? Like initially,
3 cats and 1 dog was Lindsay's, and then I had a dog.
Did you have the oldest dog?
No.
Okay.
The oldest was hers. He's a cockapoo named Loki.
Oh.
A cockapoo named Loki.
I was just imagining.
Which is a perfect name because he's such a little mischievous little asshole.
Oh, that's perfect. Like how you were doing that, how you were kind of grinding it out on the road and having a dog. Like that's.
It was really tough. I was in a lot of long-term relationships that were bad just because I had someone to watch the dog. As awful as that sounds. And then when those didn't work, I had a friend in Cincinnati, so I would drive from Chicago to Cincinnati to drop the dog off, and then sometimes back to Chicago, and then to wherever.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I ran into that myself fairly recently with just like scheduling and everything, and I was like, oh, So don't comedians and dogs having. I can't finish that sentence.
Yeah, comedians and dogs don't mix. Maybe not.
No.
Yeah.
A lot of my friends moved to New York, and one of them had a dog, and I was like, "Oh, great, you can have a dog in New York." And within 6 months, he had to get rid of it because he was just never there. And I was like, "Oh, I don't think I can move to New York."
Yeah.
Because I couldn't give up this dog.
There's the next $1 billion business idea is somebody to be a pet sitter for road comics.
Well, it's funny because a lot of comics in New York are dog walkers, so I have a friend who watches dogs for other comics who is a comic.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I love animals, and everyone always asks me like, why don't you have a pet? I'm too busy. Like I would feel bad not being home and being able to watch my dog, and it's crazy because on New Year's Eve I picked up a dog that got loose, and everyone's like, oh, keep it. I'm like, no, it has an owner, and I took it to the Humane Society. I met the cops there, and then it got loose maybe a month or 2 later, and I saw it again on the Nextdoor app, and I'm like, lady, lock your fucking gate. Like, it's loose again. And everyone's like, if you find that dog again, it's yours. I'm like, I mean, maybe, because she obviously doesn't give a shit about it. But, I'm too busy to have any pets. I mean, if I got something, it'd probably be a snake. Like a big-ass python that I could feed once a year and forget about and just be like, hey, what's up, man?
Bone
Yeah,
snake.
Bone
comes
Snake.
all
Bone
back
Snake,
around.
yeah.
Where did that name come from?
I don't know. We just, it was like the joke is a little bit of an exaggeration. Like he didn't message me, but we were on our computer and we saw Yahoo Messenger and we're like, none of us use Yahoo. So me and my brothers like looked at it and the screen name was Bone Snake 2 and we were like, what the fuck? And my dad was like, yeah, I'm on this instant messenger thing. And this was like, I don't know, 2012, like way after Messenger. It was like cool. I was like, all right, yeah, go for it, Bone Snake, you fucking creep.
Yeah, my dad was on Yahoo Messenger, but he at least his made sense. It was still hacky, but he was Tin Ear 55.
Tin Ear?
Because he had hearing aids,
Oh,
and he thought
okay.
that was his like clever thing. But I'm realizing now that he's 78 and he was 55 then, so it was 23 years ago. Was when we were doing.
These
this
sound
Yahoo
like
Messenger.
These sound like Dick Tracy villain names, like Bone Snake and Tin Ear, and like it's just insane. Like, I'm sorry, it just the way it sounds like they could even have like an action figure with a guy with like big oversized metal ears that he can hear like a conversation miles away, and then you've got.
I love this. Did you have a shitty screen name, like either AIM or?
Oh yeah,
anything like
yeah,
that?
it was really dumb. I think it was Turbo Gnome. And I don't know why. I was like, Turbo Gnome, that's going to be cool.
Okay.
And yeah, it was fucking stupid. I don't know why I had it.
Well, now the mustache makes sense.
Well, yeah,
and
exactly.
all the free lawn stuff.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. You know what? That does make a lot of sense because of the lawn gnomes, yeah.
Yeah. How about you? Before Bone Snake 3 came into your world, did you have a bad
My AOL instant messenger was MC Meat 04.
like meat
Like
as
meat.
in
MEAT.
okay.
MC my initials and Meat was my nickname, and then graduated in 04. It's very unoriginal.
Master of Ceremonies meat.
Yeah.
Why meat?
It was a way for my brothers to call me fat without calling me fat.
Oh,
I
okay.
was just like a bigger kid, but I was kind of in the middle between muscular and fat, so they're like,
Okay.
he's just meaty.
Meaty, yeah.
And so you just tossed it up for him. Like,
Yeah.
okay, I'll just accept it.
Fine,
And
yeah.
Again, that goes back to the whole like Dick Tracy villain because they can call you McMeat, and you've got the red hair. You could be like an Irish, like an Irish bouncer.
Yeah, just like a leprechaun.
Yeah. Oh, it's me, McMeat. What about you, Alana? Did you have any crazy?
it's me, McMeat is the funniest.
It's me, McMeat. Arr. He's a pirate for some reason.
You have the eye patch.
And now I'm picturing like him versus Mario. Like it's just weird.
McMeat. Or that could be like the most generic like McDonald's menu item. Just a burger patty. New Atkins diet version McMeat.
The burger is the bun. Oh my gosh.
That does sound like a secret menu item.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I got a new hack for you guys. It's the McMeat. Oh, God. From now on.
It's a meat bun, chicken sandwich, meat bun. It's the McMeat.
Oh, I'll
Yeah,
eat
it's
that, totally.
It's the McMeat.
Yeah, the McMeat.
I really think that we start that. That would become a
Yes.
viral.
Yes.
thing.
I will go down the street to McDonald's and be like, I want to order the McMeat. And hear him be like, sir, we don't have that. I'm like, you do. You
Yes,
just
you
don't
do.
know about it. Mm-hmm. Yes.
I just saw this TikTok. Now I'm a dad, so I explain TikToks to people.
That's, oh my god, that's disgusting. 'Cause that's exactly what happened. And I didn't even realize it until I became a mom. And now that's what I do. Like, I saw on the internet.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
I've seen on the
Have you seen on the TikToks? It's a guy who like shares fast food secrets, and he went to Wendy's because I guess you can get a bucket, like
A bucket?
bucket of 50
Nuggets?
things.
Oh,
nuggets.
hell yeah.
Yeah, and it comes in like a bucket, and you have to ask for it specifically. I forget what it's called, but he showed up to a Wendy's, and they recognized him from TikTok. So they're like, if we give this to you, you're going to tell everyone? And he's like, I mean, yeah, that's what I have to do. And so they just gave him 50 but in 6 packs each.
Oh,
So like
damn.
3 bags full of these.
Oh man!
Wow. There's a Wendy's right down the road.
Because they didn't
Yeah.
want to
Yeah.
rush on buckets.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
that's fantastic.
A whole bucket of chicken nuggets.
Bucket of
That is
nugs.
that's
I know
heaven.
that- I know that guy you're talking about too, the Jordan the Stallion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Yeah, he's great. He always films in a mirror and he's like, "You want the secret? Come here." and then he zooms in. Then he whispers. It's so funny.
Oh, have you heard about that new corncob pizza at Little Caesars?
What?
You didn't hear about this? They have a corncob pizza.
You sure it's not corncob TV?
No, I thought it was I swear to you, they have a corncob pizza, and there's a Little Caesars again right down the road.
But what does that even
Yeah, what
mean?
does
What does that mean?
That means that the crust is corn cobs, and they have corn on the pizza. I mean,
Eat corn
How?
cobs, can you?
How?
I mean, you can eat the corn. I mean, I don't think it's an April Fool's joke. Mario, you might know. Is that an April Fool's joke, or is that?
I
Well,
so
look it up, yeah.
yeah.
I mean, Little Caesars has done some crazy shit before.
Which
We were talking on our podcast. The Batman. Remember the?
Oh, yeah.
The,
Uh-huh.
It was the darkest version of Batman, and Little Caesars had the Bat Zoni. So
Yeah.
silly. It was a pizza
Yeah.
with the sides folded, so it was half a calzone. It's and then see the Batman.
Yeah, yeah. In the first 5 minutes, somebody's murdered. Eat pizza.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
Now,
the thing. That's the thing.
so it's a real thing.
okay,
I
can
don't
you
know if it's
describe it?
real, though. Okay, so imagine a pizza, and then you took.
If
corn
you
on
just
the
say,
cob.
and then there's corn cobs, I will slap
just
you.
Corn, that's all it is.
You-
There's
again-
little pats of butter on each one.
Okay,
There
I
is
was
a-
picturing used
eaten-
dry corn cobs.
Me
Oh, no.
too, as maybe rolled out or something
Yeah.
and kind of molded
Because
into the crust.
I saw
Okay.
I saw the commercial for it, and
Wow.
then I saw a guy on YouTube was like, "I'm trying the corn cob pizza." I'm
Really
like,
a joke.
"Holy shit!" I don't know, man. I part of me hopes it's a joke, part of me hopes it's not, and I really do want to go over to Little Caesars and be like, "Corn cob pizza, what's the deal with this?"
Yeah.
Wow. That's intense.
That's quite intense. So yeah, if I known it was real before, I would have had corn cob pizza for everybody here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that is. Wow.
I'm not coming back unless you do.
Okay.
Fair.
Yeah.
Total
fair
fair.
enough. Yeah. So, but no, yeah, it has.
One rule.
Well, the next time you are, because I will definitely have you back, not only on the podcast but on my shows as well.
I don't know if we're definitely
Well, yeah,
that felt
we
a little.
we gotta
that felt
talk a
little
little bit.
strong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, we
You
got.
do have a co-host. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very true.
I
yeah.
mean, just saying.
Yeah, I mean, if I find some dents in my filing cabinet in the back, you know.
Hey, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, no, this has been great, man. This
Yeah,
has been a
thanks
lot
for
of fun.
having
Oh, dude, anytime, man. Before we get out of here, do you want to plug any shows or your own podcast or anything that you've got going on? Feel free. You've got 21 subscribers watching right
shit.
now.
Oh, hi. Jesus. You didn't tell me. I'm nervous.
Now it's stand-ups bump.
Yeah.
I have a special on YouTube. It came out last year. It's completely for free. It's called Thick Worm. It's 43 minutes long. You can check that out. And,
So meaty.
Me.
and yeah, my podcast, it's called Comics on Film. It'll be coming out soon. We watch superhero movies and kind of review them, break them down. We both love them, but we also
Critique
kind of
them.
tear them apart. Yeah.
Nice.
a little
Nice.
bit.
Perfect.
Yeah. And that's it. I don't have any shows coming up.
Okay.
Oh,
I mean, I do, but they'll be done.
Gotcha.
Time
Yeah,
this comes
yeah.
out, so-
Elena, how about yourself?
So I've got a couple shows. Check it out at Gonzaleza on the Instagrams and the Facebooks and Twitter technically, but I'm not there anymore. GONZALEEZA. But I've also I started producing something a little different at One Night Stands. We've done it once and it went so well. We're doing it again. But we are kind of bringing back some retro game shows. So we're doing live game shows at One
that
Night
sounds awesome.
Stands. Yeah, so next up is Match Game. May 19th. Come watch. We're going to have comedian panelists and then actual contestants from the audience, and with real prizes and lights and all the bells and whistles. So May 19th at One Night Stands. Come on out.
Nice, nice. And of course, I've got my monthly show at Bearded Lamb Brewing Company, monthly show at the Rusted Crow Distillery in Dearborn. Hopefully the Rusted Crow in Belleville when it opens, and I'm working on another show in Dearborn and possibly some shows up north. How am I going to do it all? I have no fucking clue, but I will get it done. Again, thank you guys so much for listening. Please subscribe. Thank you so much.
Bye.